boys and cut their head off. And somebody said, what about a flamethrower? I said, flamethrowers great, but since they don't feel pain, you set them on fire, they keep moving. That's what happened in Colorado 2 weeks ago.
Oh! Wow! Oh, wow!
Yeah, that's what they thought. I didn't say Aurora. I was talking about the fires in Colorado. Sheesh, what's wrong with you guys? Do I look like Batman? Not so much, huh? Right. So as the samurai trained, it was important that they could wheel and cut in any direction. So for this form, I want you to show them what this is like. I want you to draw your sword, and I want you to pretend that you are all alone on the battlefield, and the hordes are pressing in. You are all by yourself, completely surrounded by enemies, people that hate you and wish you harm. It's you alone in a vast sea of unfriendly faces, where they all mock you and hate you.
We all love you!
Like high school. Shiho Geary, for direction cutting. Each. Me. God. Sing. Go. That is not correct. It explains a lot about high school for my wife, though. Yeah, I know. It would have been more fun with a sword. Would have been briefer, too. Those 7 years of 9th grade would have... One more for just because I want her to get tired before we go to the next part where she tries to hit me.
She may.
You have no idea what we did last night. Oh, you realize every time I make a comment like this, we are traumatizing my students and forever changing the way I teach class. Shiho, without a doubt. Remember what I said about her vision being movement-based? Shiho, Hajime. At least she leaned the right way. Sorry, we teach martial arts for a living, and we get new students in. Sword goes this way, they lean this way. Can I point out that perpendicular lines meet? Parallel lines don't? That's an important distinction when you're facing a sword. So moving on to the next part.
Cancel.
Alright, look, as the samurai trained, the first thing was to learn how to move a sword correctly on your own without hitting yourself or the person next to you. The next thing you had to learn is what to do when somebody swings a sword at you. And the reason why it's separated is this is more complicated than you might think. If you are attacked without training, normal human response to somebody swinging a 3-foot sharpened razor blade at your head looks something like this. The flinch response, which is about one step up from the fetal position. And just so we're clear, not only was the fetal position of no use on the battlefield, it won't help your dating life either. So this was not the correct thing to do. And this brings us to the next part. You train a little bit. For those of you in Taekwondo and Karate classes, this is our shout out to the best movie of all time, The Karate Kid! That really cool block, up, down, ha, hoo, ha, was not intended to be used against a sword. The katana was designed specifically to cut entirely through human bodies. The katana was designed to cut entirely through human bodies.
A large scalpel. It's actually something that they used to practice in Japan. So being a samurai was a good thing in life. The record for cutting through human bodies in one swing is 7.
Can you beat it?
Society.
Can you guys beat it?
I haven't been able to get through the pelvis on the 5th person yet. It's bothering me a lot, but it explains why our dojo has gotten smaller and smaller. The truth is, I always wondered how they got 7 people to hold still for that test. But we did a race there in Illinois in the front row with all college guys. And the record is 7. Now, how they got people to hold still for that, I mean, is that a belly dancer? And they all turned and they jumped down and went, woo! Yes! And all the grown-ups laughed, and I looked back at my son and went, Michael, did you see that? And he's going, what, Dad? Where?
There was no belly dancer.
The fun part was, sitting at the end of the bench was a sword bender friend of mine. He weighs 400 pounds and he was wearing a kilt. We still get therapy bills from that knowledge. But back to our regularly scheduled program. If someone swings a 3-foot sharpened razor blade at your head, that really cool move you learned in class does not help. She attacks with a sword, and I go, hey!